Nordstrom, the place where you can actually get some pretty decent clothing, the place where it looks pretty shiny inside. Business is usually pretty good, and when you have like a Nordstrom opening up in like the mall in your city is usually like decently sized. And of course, it's kind of bad when the Nordstrom in your city not only closes down their Nordstrom, they're also their cheaper alternative, which is Nordstrom Rack. In fact, San Francisco shoplifting is so bad that Nordstrom is now finally closing 2 locations. So their first location that they're closing is going to be right in front of like Westfield Mall, right? So Westfield Mall, you got your Bloomingdale's, all this massive shopping area. This is going to be Westfield Mall, and they've closed down. They completely closed down. They're done. They're gone. And if you go over here, you got something called Nordstrom Rack, which is kind of like a cheaper alternative to Nordstrom. You got cheaper items, stuff like that. But this is Nordstrom Rack, right here. They're closing down as well. So the situation in San Francisco is so dire because just this one company alone has like 360,000 square feet of office space. That's crazy because Meta, Facebook, they used to have 400,000 square feet in 181 Fremont, and then they left, which pretty much had this massive vacancy in that really nice skyscraper. So if Nordstrom leaves, it's insane because usually startups don't have this much space. Tech startups usually rent like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 square feet at the most. So when Nordstrom, something this gigantic, closes down almost 400,000 square feet of office space, this pretty much signals the death of the city. So Nordstrom's flagship store will be closing on Sunday, August 27th. According to 2 staffers in the mall, they are not naming and they're not pretty much talking to the press at all. They're done. They're leaving. They don't want to be in the store at all. I mean, it is a pretty trashy place to live in San Francisco right now. Nordstrom also said that they would not be renewing its lease obligations in Westfield Mall. And to add the sprinkles on top, just pretty much showing how much they hate the city, announced the closure of the nearby Nordstrom Rack. Now, here's the reason why. Nordstrom, number one, tourism is down a lot. The reason why the Westfield Mall has vacancies up to 50%, whereas their other locations only have a vacancy of average of 5%, is because there's barely any tourism in San Francisco. Check out the Airbnb horror stories in San Francisco. These hosts pretty much said that before the pandemic, they easily rented out about 28 nights out of 30 nights in a month. Now they're only renting out 1, 2, 3, if they're lucky, maybe 5 nights out of 30 nights. And they're losing money on their investment. Property values are down a lot in San Francisco. People are really, really mad about what the city has done to the real estate prices. Not to mention, everyone is already appealing to have lower real estate taxes because so many of these properties fell by 50%. I mean, commercial real estate, you could buy one of those for 65, 75% off. No joke. And is anyone buying this mall? Anyone buying these mall locations in San Francisco? Absolutely not. There's even a saying right now, which is a lot of these malls like the Nordstrom area, the Nordstrom Rack, Westfield, you can't sell these places because nobody wants it. Look at Nordstrom Rack. It's like a flagship store. Look at how big this is. This building, which is basically pretty much designed for just a few big clients, is not going to sell. Nobody is ever going to buy a place like this. It is such a trashy place to live right now. I mean, this is going to be like your Union Square, your big stores, there's Park 55 hotels. This is completely vacant because it returned back to the bank. It's only worth like maybe a third of its value. And these malls that you see, beautiful buildings, gorgeous architecture, and nobody wants it. Come over here, check out these brand new condos. Nobody wants these either. Not a single person. San Francisco is basically now a complete dump. And it's getting worse and worse. I mean, look at all this empty retail space that nobody wants. It is a ghost town, and it's getting pretty freaky. Not to mention, Nordstrom will be taking out almost 400 jobs and a lot of these soon-to-be closed stores because crime is plaguing the city so hard. Now, you may be asking yourselves, so if Nordstrom is leaving, is the city doing anything about like the crime and shoplifting? Because you don't even need to protest with words when these companies leave with their actions. They leave the city with their money and massive stocks of it. They are leaving the city and taking their stacks of cash to other places like Miami, Las Vegas, Austin, Tampa, Orlando. They're leaving this area. I mean, look at this. Nordstrom shuts down both stores and crime-ridden San Francisco. Target is locking entire product ranges behind security glass. Whole food stores are shattered. And look at this robbery in Los Angeles, right? This is what really made it on the news. This got Nordstrom on the front pages. About 20 to 30 people are part of a massive robbery crew that swarmed a Nordstrom department store. And security guards are pretty mad as well. They actually got bear sprayed by a lot of these burglars. So this is happening everywhere in places in Los Angeles. I wouldn't even be surprised if a lot of these stores in Los Angeles leave. If you guys think this is bad, this is basically a daily occurrence in places like San Francisco, where so much of the retail space is completely empty. I mean, look at this massive condo development. The studios here sold for like $550,000. Yes, you heard that right. Studios sell for almost 600 grand in this building. Now, if you offer me 300 grand, I don't even want it. Okay, I don't want to live in San Francisco. Nobody's buying these condo buildings, and this condo building is literally right next to some of the biggest homeless encampments in San Francisco. It's basically in the Tenderloin district, and it's like right up here. And it sucks because San Francisco is like a pretty decent space, but nowadays it's just filled with homeless individuals, camps, and even some of the tallest and most famous buildings. Like this empty lot is supposed to be like a massive 47-story skyscraper. They fully canceled it because they know that, okay, if I'm making this much office space, who will want this, right? Nobody wants it. Nordstrom is now officially closing doors, and it's kind of sad, honestly. It's really, really sad because scenes like these are happening everywhere. I mean, massive robberies, a lot of people are looting Nordstrom. It's such a big place. There's really not that much security, and a lot of the items are just hanging out outside, and it's massive, right? And if this is happening everywhere, these stores like Nordstrom are losing so much money, they might as well just leave. Look at this, another smash and grab. Approximately $30,000 worth of stolen merchandise. It's happening everywhere, guys. Who in the world will ever open a store in like LA Nordstrom? Look at this. Now it's like they added up to like 100 grand of merchandise. This is insane, guys. This is crazy. Do it a few more times, you go buy a house. And it's happening everywhere. San Francisco is becoming a massive dump. We're seeing more and more crime happening. And these mass robberies are basically like a way for lots of people just to make some side money. And in the past, when people want to make side money, they get an extra job, or they're trying to do something online, maybe like social media or something like that. But now people just straight up rob stores to get like 50 grand and nothing really gets done. Nobody really gets arrested. Has anyone been arrested? Not really. That's the thing about California, right? You can rob a bunch of things and you get a slap on the wrist. $950K? No, I mean $950. Thank goodness. It's just a misdemeanor. That's crazy. So, yeah, no wonder Nordstrom is closing down doors. I wouldn't be surprised if Nordstrom leaves LA as well. A few more of these robberies and these stores are not making any money. I mean, we get 100 grand of stolen merchandise. It's very hard to make that money back. Not to mention constant shoplifting, constant burglaries, and it being in on the news doesn't really look so great for a brand either. So thanks for watching, guys. Comment below. See you later.